Hello, and welcome to the Citadel Graduate College's virtual webinar series. My name is Fred Quick, and I work here at the Citadel. The Citadel Graduate College has been operating here in Charleston at the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina, for over 50 years. The Citadel Graduate College offers graduate and transfer programs in various fields through online and evening classes to accommodate working professionals. This webinar series is designed to provide students with a clear insight into our academic programs directly from key campus leaders, such as our provosts, our school deans, as well as professors, support staff, and our students. Now, the Citadel Graduate College and the Citadel works to produce principal leaders under the core values of honor, duty, and respect. So stay tuned throughout this series to see yourself on the journey. Now, fortunately for us, we're joined by Dr. Larry Valero, who works in the Intelligence and Security Studies. And what he's going to do is actually provide us a lot more insight into the program, outcomes that you can expect from this program, how you as a student can grow and foster your learning through the Citadel. So without any further ado, Dr. Valero, I'm turning it over into your hands.
Thank you very much, Fred. I hope everyone can see my screen. Welcome and welcome to the Department of Intelligence and Security Studies. As Fred mentioned, my name is Larry Valero. I'm the department head for Intelligence and Security Studies here. I'm also the graduate advisor for our online MA program in Intelligence and Security Studies. So it's my pleasure to tell you a little bit more about it this evening, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have. Let's see. Now, personally, I think you selected the best graduate program at the right college. We have a tremendous, master's program here that results in real world outcomes for our graduate students, right? Upon graduation, many of them will go on to work in intelligence capacities for the US government, state and local law enforcement, and even the private sector. When you take this particular master's program, you will not be bored. It is fascinating subject matter for sure. But like I said, it also comes with excellent career prospects. We basically have two types of students in our program. Students who are seeking to enter into careers in the US intelligence community, but also those who may already be working in the US government in some capacity, and they're seeking to advance their careers. So again, excellent career prospects. Also, by getting a master's degree with us in Intelligence and Security Studies, you're going to develop transferable skills that have real world applications. So whether you go and work for the US government, the military, or some other sector, you are going to bring analytical skills, research skills, oral communication skills that are very much in high demand, okay? And of course, there are great academic and professional opportunities as well for our graduates beyond just our MA program. So we have, for example, some students who are interested in pursuing PhDs in related fields, some who are interested in, after getting their master's, going on to law school. So you can use this master's degree potentially as a stepping stone to other academic and professional opportunities. And then last but not least, we also have a great alumni network. Of course, historically, it's always been focused on the Corps of Cadets, but we're also extending that greater alumni network to our graduate students as well. Our alumni work in a variety of capacities, some senior executive service in the US government, Some have served, for example, 20, 30 years in the national security enterprise, maybe for a time in the serving as officers in the armed services, and then going on to work as civilians in federal service. So those are just some of the advantages, so to speak, of pursuing your MA in Intelligence and Security Studies with us here at the Citadel. So a big focus of what we do is, of course, at the Citadel is our mission that is focused on developing tomorrow's leaders, right? Leadership plays a very important role here. And we're not just trying to develop intelligence professionals through our graduate program, but also professionals who will become leaders in the field, okay? In short, the master's program is a 36-hour program. That's 12 3-credit-hour courses that combines basically the theory of intelligence with the practice, the tradecraft of analytics and other professional intelligence experience, basically giving graduate students the real world skills necessary for success as an intelligence professional. Along with our masters, you can have 3 different concentrations. One in cybersecurity in partnership with our Department of Cyber and Computer Sciences here on campus. You can focus very specifically on intelligence analysis, or in collaboration with our Department of Leadership Studies, if you are thinking about maybe moving on to maybe a supervisory or management role in the intelligence field, the leadership studies concentration can be very, very helpful in that regard. We have a number of mid-career professionals, so to speak, that are pursuing a leadership studies concentration in addition to the intelligence coursework that they're taking through our program. And then, of course, you can see a quote there from one of our alumni about the program and its attributes. Let's see. Now, I often get asked, well, Dr. Valera, what am I going to learn in this program specifically? You're going to learn a lot in just 36 credit hours. As I mentioned earlier, you'll learn about intelligence theory, sort of intelligence as an abstraction, how it should be practiced, and then how it works in real life, okay? Based upon the open source literature that is out there, which it may not be known to many, but it is actually the intelligence literature is quite vast, in fact. You'll also learn how to conduct intelligence research, again, very much focused on open source, but open source can serve as an analog for what it might be like to deal with information, classified information or data as well. And then to be able to analyze that data and turn it into some kind of intelligence product, right? To do the hard synthesis and maybe even apply what we call structured analytic techniques to the data, to the information, to provide insight into something that might happen on a geopolitical front, on a faraway military battlefield. Perhaps it has to do with the economy of various countries or regions. There's lots to explore when it comes to research and analysis in this particular program. You'll also learn how to write and brief like an intelligence professional as well. And we can do that effectively even online and asynchronously as we do it. That's important to point out. Even though our program is not face-to-face, there's a heavy emphasis on learning how to write like an intelligence professional and apply what is known as the bottom line up front format, which is commonplace in intelligence writing. But also to be able to brief. Some of your instructors will ask you to put together PowerPoint briefings using bottom line up front, or even engage in developing videos of you briefing a complex international or national security situation. You'll also learn about national security policy as well. Much of what is done in the world of intelligence is driven by the national security policy of the United States and our various strategies to achieve those policy objectives. So you'll learn about the great power competition. You'll learn about terrorist threats and challenges our nation faces, cyber threats, regional security issues will all be covered under national security policy. And then, of course, a vast range of intelligence threats at a very different level are also covered. You can learn potentially about transnational criminal organizations, as I mentioned, terrorist groups, but also weapons of mass destruction, bio threats, for example. We have a course that's offered through our biology department that's very popular and is taken as an elective by our graduate students in our program. So those are many of the key areas that you'll learn about in this particular program. What should you expect in this program? Well, as I've already mentioned, it's online, 100% online, so it's very flexible for working individuals. We all have family and work commitments, and this makes it possible for many to pursue their master's degree in an online environment. But like I said, in an asynchronous environment. In other words, there are no specific meeting times for lectures or discussions. There are sometimes optional face-to-face opportunities to engage in discussions with your professors, but they are optional for very good reasons. We have students spread across all time zones here in the United States, but we also have students who are taking the program while deployed and are far away. We have a couple of students in Australia. We have one at least in Japan. We have several that are in Europe at any given time. Many of these, of course, serving in the U.S. military. And we make our program flexible for all of these individuals. So we focus on asynchronous online learning. You can also take the program part-time or full-time, right? There's no requirement that you do one or the other, and you can move back and forth between the two modes of study. Full-time is 3 or 4 courses. Part-time is 1 or 2 courses per semester or term. Another thing that you can expect is that this will be a rigorous curriculum. And when you complete those 36 hours, you will be surprised by how much you've covered in that year or two that you've been pursuing your degree with us. But it is a rigorous curriculum, heavy on writing, heavy on reading as well, so that you can dig deep into many of the issues that I've already mentioned in this presentation. And then, like I also suggested a moment ago, there's a variety of assignments too. There's discussion boards that are the main mode of seminar in the program. But you'll develop intelligence reports, research papers. Like I said, you'll conduct briefings. You'll do group projects. It depends on who the instructor is and the course, of course. And then last but not least, something that we're adding to the program is we're adding a research component to the program that I'll address in just a moment. So you'll have a chance to dig much deeper into a research project of your choice. So here right now are the core courses and other requirements. This is up to date. This is what is going to go into effect for the fall semester of 2023. So what we're going to be doing is changing up our core courses just a little bit, but every graduate student will take a core course in national security policy going forward. They'll also take an introductory course in intelligence. They'll learn about what intelligence is, the various intelligence disciplines. Then they'll take a course in intelligence research analysis, where they'll be introduced to different structured analytic techniques, methods used to conduct intelligence analysis. And then you'll learn about the theory and the application of intelligence as well. So these 4 core courses are common to everyone in the program, regardless of what concentration they take, okay? And like I said, you can take courses in intelligence analysis, you can take courses in leadership studies, you can take courses in cybersecurity potentially, but we also offer electives in not just our department that are very interesting. We can offer, for example, we offer courses in Russian influence operations, law enforcement intelligence. We also offer courses in cyber warfare. We're going to be offering a course in space and national security. So there's really a chance to take unique courses that you may not find in other programs or other colleges and universities. But you can also take electives in other departments like criminal justice, right, and political science and the history department, particularly military history. These are all ways to round out your elective courses. We also require, in order to graduate, that you complete a portfolio requirement as well. And this portfolio requirement, I won't get into too many details, but basically it's a collection of all your creative work during the program. And it's a nice exercise because what some graduate students have been able to do is utilize this portfolio with job applications in some cases. To demonstrate their subject matter expertise in a number of areas. And you complete that portfolio requirement before you, of course, graduate in your last semester of your master's program. And then last but not least, the research component that I mentioned, we'll be starting with this in fall semester 2023. Students will get to choose between a full-blown master's thesis or a capstone project option, okay? And these courses, because they are actual graduate courses, will come out of your elective requirement, right? The thesis will consist of 2 3-unit courses for a total of 6 credit hours, which means that you'll take an additional 6 electives of your choice, plus the 4 core courses. That adds up to 12 courses in total, 36 hours. Because we are adding the thesis and capstone option, the number of credit hours is not changing at all. That's going to remain the same. If students are interested, maybe not in developing a 75-page thesis, they can engage in a smaller project with a supervisor, faculty supervisor, a capstone project, which is a 1-semester, 3 credit hour course. If you choose that option, like I said, you can dig a little deeper. We like to think that if you pursue the capstone option, that paper that you write might be even possibly publishable in a peer-reviewed journal. That's that's the quality of the work that we're going to be aspiring to with our capstone. So if you choose that option, that's 1 course plus 7 electives plus the 4 core courses, again, adds up to 12 courses total, 36 hours. Nothing ever changes in terms of the credit hours. We have great college resources here. Just to let you know, we have one of the best collections anywhere in terms of intelligence literature here at the Citadel. We've been very fortunate to receive a very large donation of materials from a former Army intelligence officer. Basically, a career's worth of collecting has been deposited here at the Citadel. This is in all combination with, of course, the various databases that the library has and that you can use for your master's program. We have great relationship with financial aid and scholarships, a strong working relationship with the Career Center to help you find a position potentially in the intelligence community upon graduation. We work very closely with the Career Center in terms of helping bring recruiters here to campus from the intelligence community, the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, the DIA, just to name a few, routinely come to those job fairs and or come at various other times during the academic year to our Career Center. Just because you're an online graduate student doesn't mean that you cannot come to campus. We would welcome you with open arms here for any activities, whether they be related to finding a position within the IC, or maybe a conference or a seminar that our guest speaker that we're hosting on campus. We do have graduate students who come from near and far just to be a part of that. We're one single Citadel community here with our graduate students. And then I should also mention, our graduate students can also participate in study abroad. Some of our graduate students in the past have studied abroad in places like Estonia, Georgia. We also have a Citadel in DC program, which we've had a graduate student or two participate in that and reside and take graduate coursework while in residence in Washington, DC. So there's some great experiential learning that can be had through our program as well, in concert with other units and departments within the college. I have to say, we have a great faculty. They have a wonderful sort of mixture of professional and academic experience. They're all first-rate teachers, and they are also, excellent researchers too. Many of them publishing in their respective areas of specialization. So, you will get to know them very well and work with them throughout your time with us here at the Citadel. And I might also add that, again, just because you're an online student doesn't mean that you won't develop a close working relationship with your instructors. I can guarantee you that you will, okay? We also complement our full-time tenured track faculty with a number of part-time adjunct faculty, many who come from, who have, great professional experience in the intelligence field, either as a counterintelligence special agent, CIA paramilitary officer, basically intelligence experience of all kinds. And they will teach in our program as well from time to time in an adjunct capacity and round out the elective courses that you might take with us. Admissions requirements, I'll let Fred talk a little bit more about this and how to apply, but really quickly, for us, the graduate application, official undergraduate transcripts. We do request a writing sample, and I'm happy to answer any questions about that. Standardized test score, MAT or GRE. Right now, that is being waived, that requirement. So you don't have to submit that to be considered at the present time. And then we also appreciate a resume from you as well to see if you are a good fit for our program here. To apply, that's where you can go, of course, and we'll learn more about how to apply a bit later. Like I said, I'm the graduate advisor for all of our graduate students, and I work very closely with them at the beginning of their program and at the end of their program, especially. But I also provide support throughout their time while they are here at the Citadel. So you have a full-time academic advisor supporting you while you're in the program as well. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I hope that was informative. And if you have a question or two, I'll be happy to answer them.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Valero. So really quick before we even go any further, the thing I love most about being able to attend these is actually I'm learning more about the programs and what we're offering. So it feels good to be able to learn alongside our students and prospective students who are tuning in. So with that, what I want to do, Dr. Valero already touched on it, but I want to actually walk you through the process of applying. He talked to you about what your experience will be once you're here, but we want to make sure we get you in here. So if you were to go to our website, citadel.edu, in the top right corner, you'll see a button that says apply now. You can click on that button and it'll take you to a page here where you're able to create an account. With you being interested in a master's program or interested in a graduate program, you will click right here where it says create a graduate account. This is important because we want to make sure we have you classified from the start to the finish, seeking the right program. Once you select that, you'll start and submit your application. So you'll create your new application here. This is where you'll create your account. Our application is very simple. It's a 5-page application. We ask for your biographical information, institutions you've previously attended. And once we have that information, we'll move on to your supplemental items. Dr. Valero already touched on the items that are necessary for your application process, and I'll reiterate those again. We're going to need a few of those things. We're going to need those. So we'll actually be able to allow you to see where you upload it here. You can upload most of these yourself. Some of them need to be sent directly from your institution. So your official transcripts, we're going to require official transcripts. Those need to be sent from the institution you attended directly to ours. But everything else, you have the option to upload it yourself. So download it on your computer and attach it where it says choose file. Once you have that, it'll be satisfied. And then you can actually check your application status. So you can actually come back to your portal and it'll show the day that you created your application, the day you started it, when you completed it, and when your supplemental items were received, or if we're missing anything. We're going to communicate with you every step of the way. We ask that you give us 1 to 2 business days to process your submitted application, and then your portal should be available. We could correspond with any missing items. When all required materials are received, your application will be sent off for review. Like Dr. Valero said, they have a process of reviewing your applications with all the necessary pieces. Once your application is fully complete, it's about a 5 to 10 business day window for us to be able to kind of work through pushing out decisions. And like we said, because we know time is important, we don't want you to wait for mail, whether that's rain, sleet, hail, or snow. We're just going to put send and it's going to go straight to your email inbox. So we want to make sure that we're getting the decision to you as quick as possible in the easiest means. Now, as Dr. Valero touched on, we're going to need your completed application. We'll need your official transcripts. Like I said, those will come directly from your previous institution. We'll need a copy of your resume. This is the show, as he said, to make sure you're a good fit for the program, that the line of work that you've gone into or the areas that have piqued your interest and your passion, line. We'll also need a writing sample. This writing sample gives you a chance to highlight your critical thinking, your ability to formulate thoughts, to be able to write succinctly, essentially. This is going to be important throughout your entire program. This can be in the form of a previously written essay that you've worked out for this, or it could be a writing sample that you've crafted specifically for this. And then we'll need a copy of your identification. So we'll need official ID. If you're a resident of the state of South Carolina, we'll need your South Carolina driver's license. If you are a resident of any other state or any other country, we're going to need an official ID attached to your application to make sure we have everything situated correctly. Now, I'm telling you all the things we need, but what I also want to do is thank you for coming. So I'm going to give something for you all. If you have your pen or paper handy, you can write down the code Go Dogs. This is our thank you for you attending today. We want you to be able to apply, and we don't want there to be any barriers to your application. So you can use the code Go Dogs, GODOGS, and that'll cover that $40 application fee waiver. Also, since you're here, I want to make sure you have the resources that we have in our office. We have a great group of people who are here to help you along the way. Obviously, you know Dr. Valero here, and he is an amazing resource. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about your application, feel free to reach out to anyone within our office, and we'll be able to assist you. Actually, on April the 12th, we're going to be hosting our open house right here on campus. I can get some information out to you regarding open house. But with open house, it's an opportunity for you to actually get a feel for the campus. We do a campus tour. We have campus partners from across the institution actually in the same location. So you can come in and actually ask any of the questions that you have. But with that said, thank you all for tuning in. We hope that you have an amazing day, and go Dogs.